You must stay at home. If you don't follow the rules, the police will have the powers to enforce them.
The Prime Minister has announced the most drastic limits to our lives that the UK has ever seen in living memory.
Stay at home and stay at least 2 meters away from people.
We have got to put in place the public health surveillance, the isolation, the quarantine, the case finding, the detection. We have got to be able to show that we can go after the virus.
What's your estimate for us being able to give someone we just met a hug?
Well, I wouldn't recommend it. Really, to get to the point where this is totally sorted is when we have a treatment or a vaccine.
The ultimate solution is a highly effective, safe vaccine, but there will be a trade-off. We'll have less safety testing than we typically would have, and so governments will have to decide, you know, do they indemnify the companies and really say, let's go out with this?
This paper was prepared by SAGE's behavioural science subgroup. The perceived level of personal threat needs to be increased amongst those who are complacent, using hard-hitting emotional messaging.
I'm struggling to see how this is not a direct psychological attack on everybody in this country.
It is, Mike. This is the British government using applied behavioural psychology to make people frightened so that it can put its agenda in place.
For many years, totalitarian and authoritarian states have used the power of fear to engineer compliance in populations.
You won't be able to travel on air travel unless there are mandatory vaccines. So what we see everywhere is, yet again, the problem is being created. Now they're offering the solution, but what they're doing in the interim is they wish to take away all of our civil liberties as human beings.
They're running it. The Gateses are running the whole vaccine operation. They're running the World Health Organization.
This will be the new normal until a vaccine is developed.
We are at a pivotal point in the history of the human race, literally. Because there will be no human race as we know it if we don't get our arses in gear now, worldwide.
To snitch or not to snitch, we're setting neighbours against one another in order to control people, is deeply sinister.
Most of the transmission that's actually happening in many countries now is happening in the household, at family level. Now we need to go and look in families to find those people who may be sick and remove them and isolate them in a safe and dignified manner.
DCF's Division of Child Protection and Permanency may be called to take custody of your children. So should we do something now? Or are we going to roll over and let them take our kids? We're going to let them go door to door, declaring medical martial law on the parents, and then taking the kids.
I am now directing medical officers of health that all confirmed cases are to be managed in a quarantine facility.
You either get your tests done and make sure you're cleared, or we will keep you in a facility longer. So I think most people will look at that and say, I'll take the test.
I don't care who you are, I don't care what walk of life you are from. The moment you start raiding people's houses or even organising a protest, you live in a dictatorship.
I've been arrested for my daily walk, for walking down the street. Fascism! This is fascism!
This bill enables the police to enter a home without a warrant. Madam Speaker, the police have never held that power.
You need to open your fucking eyes, Australia, and understand what's happening. This isn't normal. This isn't a mild inconvenience. If we just follow the rules, everything's going back to normal. This is fucked up beyond belief how crazy this is. They ruined our businesses. They've treated us like animals. They're kicking in doors without warrants and taking people away. They're lying on their certificates. They're using palliative care numbers for people that are dying of COVID. The most unethical, immoral thing I've ever heard of in my life.
They've sat back and allowed evil to run completely rampant over everybody. And we thought that somehow it wasn't going to affect us. But now, man, we're staring into the headlights of something that's going to run our ass over.
What the fuck is going on in Australia? That is called treason, people. Treason. Look the word up. This is the time, friends. This is the time.
These masks have absolutely nothing to do with health, but everything to do with the complying with a false flag, tyrannical agenda.
Nobody is listening.
They don't care what is happening to these people.
אני מבקש מכם, צעירים, מבוגרים, לכו להתחסן, קחו את הדרכון הירוק שלכם.
Protests are not safe. Protests are selfish. Protests are potentially very dangerous.
This is also a test of humanity, to see how much of our liberty we will let go before we finally draw the line under enough.
We, the people, are waking up.
They don't need celebrating, they need calling out. They need exposing for what they're doing.
But you don't have a choice. People act like you have a choice. Normalcy only returns when we've largely vaccinated the entire global population.
No, I will not cooperate with our own enslavement, and there are billions of us and a handful of you.
Our freedom is worth fighting for. Our freedom is worth dying for. Our children will have a future. Our freedom will be upheld. We are the people. We are the power. We are the 99%.
The sleeping lion is stirring, it's starting to wake. And when that lion roars, checkmate. Love ya.
This could be the turning point when humanity got off its frickin'